Hey everyone, my name is Seth Lewandowski.
And I'm Jordo.
And we are two co-founders who decided to share our experiences and our journey of entrepreneurship with the world.
Yes, we are by no means experts. These are just experiences that we ourselves have experienced and we're still learning from. So take everything we say with just like you take other advice from people. You consider it and you can either listen or you can reject it, and we do both all the time. So
yeah, and we're not going to be coming at you with facts or anything or any kind of data. We're going to be sharing our experiences and the things we've tried. So our recommendation is to you is what we hope you get out of this is to get some ideas of things to try and to know that you're not alone. The problem that we've identified is that all the information out there, all the books, movies, TV shows is about entrepreneurs that have already made it, and then they're reflecting on the process they went through and all their successes. And we wanted to be a resource for our fellow entrepreneurs through the process of learning how to be successful and how to make it to the end.
Yeah, we are not by any means already entrepreneurs by the word. We're like the guy that created Dollar Shave Club. We're still scratching and clawing to get the heck out of the rat race that everybody seems to be trapped in, that gets a college degree and enters the workforce. So we just hope this helps a lot of people, because shoot, if somebody else was doing this, I would watch their channel, because I want to know what they've gone through and know the stuff that we're experiencing. It's not unique, it's just what everybody goes through. But yeah, so we both studied at the University of Oklahoma, and I got a degree in something completely outside of what I do on a day-to-day basis. I have no business knowledge whatsoever, took no business classes in college. I actually got a degree in molecular biology, and it does not help me in my day-to-day business world at all. But one thing I always say that college did teach me is it teaches you responsibility. So at the very least, I have that to take away.
Yeah, and I'm pretty much the complete opposite of Jordan. All I studied in college was business. I did no life sciences or anything like that. So I still remember my freshman orientation meeting. I was in the registrar with my dad, and I asked him what major I should take, or what major I should get, or what degree I should get.
Yeah, sounds good.
What degree I should get, and he said finance, and I stuck with it for the rest of the time. I did dabble a little bit in an entrepreneurship major when I was at OU, but kind of figured out that I might as well have some kind of hard skill set in case the whole startup world didn't work out for me. So that's the one thing that I think has worked with Jordan and I being business partners, is we are complete opposites. I come from a very business background. My family's all been in business, so I've been taught business since I basically was born. And Jordan comes from a completely different perspective, where his parents are in healthcare, and he brings we balance each other out in not only our expertise but our personalities and that kind of stuff. Yeah,
two completely different upbringings. But we've been best friends for what, 12 years now?
Yeah.
So you find business partners in the craziest of times and places. So you never, and we'll have tons of episodes about picking business partners. But we also want to talk about, when does somebody decide that they want to be an entrepreneur? Where does the desire come from? And we were talking about this, and for us, it's not a decision that we made to be an entrepreneur. Being an entrepreneur is something that you either have always been or you never will be. So you're either okay with being somebody else's worker for the rest of your life, and that's fine. I mean, shoot, I wish I was okay with that, because life would be a lot easier if I could just get a job, just work for somebody, make a comfortable salary, and that was fulfilling. And that is for a lot of people, and I'm happy as hell for those people. Good for you. But for us, that was never even an option. We've tried it, it just doesn't work for us. So that's why I believe, and we believe, that being an entrepreneur is not a choice. It's something that we're wired differently. When you see something, you question it. You ask, why is it this way? Why are we marketing our brand this way? Why does this item cost this much? There's no way their margin is help me out here.
Yeah, no. Like Jordan said, we're talking about desire today because we talked about like what is the very first seed of a thought that blossoms into this life of wanting to work for yourself. And we both said, well, it's desire, obviously. You're sitting you're either growing up wanting to be an entrepreneur, or you're idolizing or modeling these famous entrepreneurs that are in pop culture. And the desire, we feel like, is the catalyst to everything. And if you have that, it's a start. It sure as heck is not everything you need, but it's a non-negotiable critical trait.
But yeah, if you feel like you might want to try to go off and strike out on your own, you probably do, and you can try to ignore that itch to get out there and try it yourself, but you're going to be unhappy. I mean, you will.
Yeah.
I know tons of people that are just don't have any of their own things going, and they are unhappy. You gotta try something, because even if you're failing at something that's yours, it's going to be way more fulfilling for you than succeeding for somebody else.
But a lot of people are unhappy with their day job. So how do you know if how do you know if you're in the wrong job or if you're in the wrong type of job? Meaning, like, should you change companies if you're unhappy, or should you try to start your own business if you're unhappy? How do you know which one of those people you are?
I think if you're unhappy with your day job, you do have the tendency to want to be an entrepreneur, most likely. But the difference is, are you willing to actually do it? Because if you're not, then you're not. If you're not willing to try to be an entrepreneur, you're not an entrepreneurial-minded person. Because it's clearly not bad enough. Like, you're okay with it.
Yeah.
You hate it, but you're still okay with it.
Yeah, so I've read a lot of books about famous entrepreneurs that would have these crazy side hustles when they were just 12 or 13, selling lemonade stands with like 6 employees and all these kinds of stuff like that. Did you have a background were you hustling when you were a kid? And is that important?
I don't know if it's important, but like I said, I think that there is something to be said about people that are wired differently. Your mind works to create something that is needed, like lemonade stands. Like, kids that do lemonade stands and they have fun doing that, there's something to be said about that.
Right.
Some kids just want to stay in and play video games. Some kids want to go do a lemonade stand, or they want to go walk around the neighborhood asking if they can rake up people's leaves or shovel snow, which is all stuff that I did when I was a kid. And I don't know that was like signs of wanting to be an entrepreneur, but it was definitely a signs of I liked to work, and I liked to make money for myself and feel like it was something that I achieved.
Yeah, for me, my outlet was always sports. My parents had me in sports. I was doing 3 or 4 sports a year. I didn't feel like I had, it's funny I'm saying this now, I didn't feel like I had time to be an entrepreneur. But
there's never freaking time.
Yeah, I don't know, money wasn't really a priority back then. Yeah. But on the same note, I also think that it's possible that entrepreneurs aren't necessarily out selling lemonade. They're in their bedroom creating. They're drawing, they're programming, they're writing. I feel like there's a lot of different outlets to show that you've had this kind of seed of entrepreneurship in you for a long time.
I've got a great example.
Jump in.
So I have 2 brothers. One, my older brother, he is a fireman here in town, and my younger brother is like me. He's got the entrepreneurial itch. But here's a great example of a difference in personality. Me and my brothers were all best friends. We all loved to draw growing up. We loved to watch Dragon Ball Z, for all of you Dragon Ball Z fans out there. And what we would do is we would always make up Dragon Ball Z characters, or at least I would. My older brother, however, he would buy the coloring books of Dragon Ball Z, and he would trace them. So he would have a blank piece of paper and he would trace the already existing Dragon Ball Z art. Whereas I would get a blank sheet and I would completely make up my own new character. I would never trace anything. And I just thought of that, but that's a black and white example of somebody that is okay with, and that's fine. My older brother just wanted to trace it because it's just as fun for him, but I wanted to create my own. I wanted to create my own thing. Even if it was worse than this one that was traced, I still would love it more.
Yeah. The the parallel I have in my life was always Legos. That was my jam when I was growing up, and I used to get 4 or 5 boxes of Legos for my birthday, and I would go straight up to my room and build them all in like a matter of 2 hours, and then it'd be over. So I was like, and it was just always not rewarding. It was always like a letdown at the end because it was
too fast.
It was like a, you know, it was finality, I guess. In the projects where I was able to just take a collection of a bunch of different Legos that didn't match and create my own kind of building or car or whatever I was putting together, that was when I feel like I was more stimulated and more true to myself. Yeah,
man, there's something in our heads that we're trying to scratch every day.
Yeah.
And Seth, what you say nobody ever, what do you say about entrepreneurs and wantrepreneurs?
I say that everybody wants to be an entrepreneur. The further I'm going down this entrepreneurial road, the more opportunities I'm getting. And I was just talking to a friend of mine who lives in the building that I live in. She is from New York City, and she has built a PR firm with 1 co-founder up to now 50 employees, and it works out of an office out of both New York City and Los Angeles. And she was talking to me about the fact that she still is meeting people today all the time in Tulsa, and wanting to strike up business partnerships. There's something like natural about entrepreneurship that makes us want to partner with other people as far as like co-founders go, and I've always found that fascinating.
Yeah, you're right. Everybody does want to be an entrepreneur, and we did for a long time.
Yeah.
And we finally did something about it. We've done so many things. I mean, we're just like all of you guys that are watching this video. We have a freaking journal of just listed Google Drive lists of businesses that we could create. And one day, every single thing that's on that list, probably tomorrow, somebody's gonna come out and have already done that. We're gonna be sitting here thinking, man, we thought of that idea 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? We didn't do anything with the idea.
Yeah.
So wanting to be an entrepreneur doesn't make you anything.
Yeah, and on that point, I think that there are way too many ideas and far too few entrepreneurs that can execute them.
And with our last question today is so in summary, what is the desire to be an entrepreneur?
Yeah, we're talking about desire. We're talking about the very seed thought of entrepreneurship. The critical, you must have this in order to at least get on the trail, the rabbit trail, the fork in the road.
Yeah.
Desire.
Yeah, because we were talking about, Seth and I were recently trapped at an airport for several hours, and we were like, can anyone be an entrepreneur?
It's a good
we're
question.
like, you know, everybody tells you you can do whatever you set your mind to.
True.
But the answer to can anyone be an entrepreneur, in our opinion, like we said when we first started this, is this is only our opinion. You can throw this advice in the trash, or you can think about it, which I encourage you to do. We think not everyone can be an entrepreneur. Everyone can attempt and fake it, but eventually their true colors will show, because it is not for everybody. You have to have the desire. You have to. It's your brain has to function different from people that are just okay being an accountant.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think the funny thing is, even people with a ton of desire to be an entrepreneurship, or to be an entrepreneur, even people with a ton of desire to be an entrepreneur find out very quickly that being an entrepreneur is not what they thought it was. So, I mean, one thing I've learned is that you better be comfortable talking to people and selling your business, or selling your services, or selling your art, or selling your writing, or selling your movies. You better be comfortable telling everyone and anyone about what you're doing, because until you reach a critical point where you can leave and go get on a sailboat for 6 months, you are your business.
Yeah.
We are our business. We don't own a business.
Yep.
Jordan and I are the business. And if we get hit by a bus tomorrow, guess what? Our business is gone.
Yeah.
And until it gets to the point where we have somebody running it full time and we haven't lost the touch with our customers or anything like that,
yeah,
the business feels like it owns us more than the other way around.
not everyone can be an entrepreneur, and here's why. At the beginning, everything about starting your own business is fun. I get to name my company, I get to decide what industry I want to be in, I get to pick who my customer I want to target, I get to pick how much I want to charge for my product or my service, and you're like doing all these fun things, and like money's not a problem yet because you just got your loan, or you just got lended to from crowdfunding, etc., etc. That's the honeymoon phase.
Yeah.
That ends, and eventually you will hit a point where you can't get customers anymore. You have all these bills that you've racked up. You got to pay back the money that you borrowed. You have to pay your employees even though money's not coming in, and you're sitting here answering phone calls all the day with questions. The honeymoon phase will end, and that's where the magic happens. That's where you have to decide every day, like, this is exactly what I signed up for. And as entrepreneurs, that is still not fun. We do that every day. It sucks.
Yeah.
It sucks when you get past that honeymoon phase and the business is built and now you are running a business.
Yeah.
That's not fun. But you know what is fun? One day whenever we potentially sell our business for hundreds of millions of dollars, that's fun to me.
Yeah.
And then I never have to work for anybody else for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
And that's the difference that's why I don't think everyone can be an entrepreneur. Because of that point that you hit. When the honeymoon phase ends, do you have what it takes to sit there and say, this is what I want.
Right.
This is still what I want. Even though I hate this,
right.
I'm gonna keep pushing.
Right.
When you create a business, you can't just change your mind. I mean, you can, but after you build a brand and an expectation and a website and phone call and you have employees, you can't just leave all of that behind because, like you said earlier, you are your business. You can't go anywhere. Like, it needs you. So it's not a matter of, I just don't want to do this anymore. You can't do that.
Yeah.
You just can't.
And I mean, it's a benefit just as much as it's kind of a crutch, or sometimes that you are your business. You know, if you have a lot of friends, or you're starting your business in your hometown like we did, where we have friends and family and 20 years of friendships, It helps a lot because people know you and you already have a network to help get you off the ground.
Yeah.
If you just move to a new city and you're starting a business, it's gonna be a lot harder. The odds are gonna be stacked against you a little bit, and that's the reality of it.
Yeah, that's, like I said, all of you people that are listening, man, really do some reflection. If you're already in it, if you're already, we call it shoveling the shit. that's really
hey, I thought you weren't gonna swear on this thing.
But that's a yeah. I'm not gonna. This is not gonna be an explicit podcast from my end. It possibly could from Seth's. I'm not gonna be a swearing type guy. But you know the saying, shoveling shit. That's basically what being an entrepreneur is, because you find yourself in this trench, and you're the only one that's gonna dig your way out. You're the only one.
True.
And it takes a special person to do this.
So the question of today is desire enough to prove that you should be an entrepreneur? If you have the want and you have the desire to be an entrepreneur, you're sitting at your day job, you're an accountant for a oil and gas company, and you're crunching numbers, and you're like, man, I really want to be my own boss. I really want to own my own business. I really want to start going down that path. I know I want to. Is that enough?
I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say no.
Okay.
But you probably agree with me.
Why do you say no?
Because I know so many people. Everybody has the desire. 99.9% of people have the desire. But that's not enough.
Yeah.
There's something, it has to be like a true desire. Like one enough where like you can't live without it. Like you're incomplete almost.
Yeah. I think the mistake happens where people associate being an entrepreneur with not having a schedule. And that's like the biggest thing in their mind. They're like, I know all these entrepreneurs that can take vacations whenever they want. They're their own boss. I want that. And I think people confuse the desire for entrepreneurship for just the desire to not have to work and not have to have a fixed schedule and not have to have a limited vacation of two weeks a year.
Yeah.
I think that's the problem. I think most people don't really know what it takes to be an entrepreneur. because all the ones that are getting covered and getting press and stuff have already exited for millions or billions of dollars, and they're sitting on a beach somewhere, or they're sailing around the world. Yeah, they just bought an island. They're way past the process of not only deciding they want to go into business for themselves, but the just gauntlet of building it.
Yeah, and it's media.
Yeah,
it's exactly like the news. You watch the news, you're only seeing the highlights. You're seeing the great, and you're seeing the absolute worst, but you don't see the middle. You don't see what happened in between. You don't ever get the full story, and that's what we're trying to do with this YouTube channel. We want to show you guys real time everything we're going through, everything we're learning, all the mistakes we're making, real time, all of the great decisions we made. And we're just normal dudes. We're just normal guys. I'm 27. Seth is 26. We're nearing. We got 1 foot in the grave. It's now or never. It's never too late. But it's you know, when you're in high school, you think of all these great things you're gonna do. I'm gonna go to college. I'm gonna get this degree. You hear about these guys with salaries of $500,000. You're like,
so
easy money, easy man, easy. I'll make $500,000 in a year, easy. Yeah. And then year by year, another year passes, and you're still working the same job. We feel for everybody out there, because we are going through the same thing. We both have day jobs. We both have our own business. We have side things going on at the same time. We are one of you. We are one of the people that want to be an entrepreneur. We are not entrepreneurs. We are small business owners.
Yep.
We are also employees.
Yep.
But we want to be entrepreneurs, and that's why we're documenting this. And it's gonna be a fun ride.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, it is. So in conclusion, you might be asking yourself, I have the desire to be an entrepreneur, is that enough? Sounds like the census is no, it is not enough, but I would say it is a damn good start.
It's better than not having the desire. I take that back. I don't want to hate on people for not having the desire. Honestly, I envy the people that don't have the desire, because they are probably much more happy than entrepreneurs, because entrepreneurs have a very small chance of finding fulfillment. Yeah, very small chance. But if you have the desire, that's good.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about what we've found, that you got to have that little bit extra to be an entrepreneur, because a desire is not enough.
Yeah,
it's not enough.
It's definitely an alternate route. And I agree with you. Sometimes I think about, man, it would be nice to be happy in a day job.
Yeah.
A Fortune 200 company day job, or a tech startup day job, and
people that just move to the Caribbean and work for a bar as a bartender, live on the beach. I really wish that would make me happy. I really do.
You won't know until you try.
But it will. It will whenever we make tons of money, and I can own a business and still be able to create while doing that.
Yeah.
But just the beach itself does not sound fun to me.
Yeah.
I want to create things. I want to draw Dragon Ball Z characters on a blank piece of paper. You want to build Legos, man.
We're
all just kids.
We are all just kids. Yes.
We just want to build. We want to create. We want to please.
Yeah. So yeah, we appreciate you watching. Please leave comments in the, I don't know what the hell people say.
This is our first YouTube channel. We are amateurs. We both wore all black by accident.
Yeah.
This was not planned.
I wear
Columbia,
all black a lot.
If you're watching this,
yeah,
sponsorship would be nice.
I wear it all the time. I tell all my friends and family about it. You guys are the best. But yeah, thanks for your time.
Thanks, guys.
We'll see you later.
Peace.